All right, we're going to start with an opener tonight from head coach Brian Schmetzer. As always, we'll go to your questions in the room after that. But for now, we'll turn it over to Coach.
Well, I just want to go on record as saying that celebration that we had tonight, obviously winning certainly helped and put a good ending to it. But the 50 years of this club certainly is a tremendous accomplishment. I have to give kudos to the office staff that worked long and hard. That presentation, there were a lot of moving parts. I actually loved the podium with all those trophies on the podium. That was pretty impressive. So kudos to the front office for putting together a lot of things. Thank you to all the former players that came and, spent their time and money and coming here to celebrate what, is a proud tradition. It's a proud franchise. And those players that I talked to the last couple of days, it means something to them. So, well done.
All right, Mike's coming around. Gigi has it. We'll start with Jeremiah in the front row.
2-0 win. You got plenty of chances. Strong defensive performance. Beat a third-place team in the Western Conference. Is this the best performance you guys have had this year?
I'll have to look at it on the tape, Jeremiah. I mean, look, we still had a couple of defensive lapses in the first half. I think that we were, other than that, solid, because I saw some of the stats and they didn't have a ton of expected goals, and we did have a bunch of expected goals. So yes, the stats are maybe telling us a story now, but I'll watch the tape. Look, we scored 5 against Montreal. Montreal's a decent team. We've played well in other parts. What I would say, it was a complete game, and we had dropped points because we couldn't close out games. And so when you close out the game with 59% possession and some of the ability to just take the sting out of the game, having possession in their half of the field, I think that was the best that we've closed games out. I would tell you that that's probably the best, but the rest of it, I'll still watch the tape and see what we can see.
John, Mike's there for you.
Right into the match, you get thrown a curveball with Alex having to come off for a concussion. Admittedly, I was a bit surprised that Paul Rothrock was your decision. Though by the end of the night, it looks like a great choice. Can you talk, one, about what led to that decision to play Paul and sub Paul on, and how do you think his performance was tonight?
Well, might have surprised a bunch of people. Certainly when coaches make subs, they're certainly either goes well or it doesn't go well. What I would tell you about Paul and what I said to the group afterwards, Paul, ever since he's been at this club, has been a hardworking, honest, great guy in the locker room, smart. I love some of the things he does. Is he the best player on our squad? No. But tonight he was the most important. And he did that because his training the last couple of weeks has been way up here. He's been the best guy in training, attitude, work rate. Times weren't going well. And he was sniffing for an opportunity because he understood that the team wasn't playing well. And he was going to be ready when the coach called his number. And there was no hesitation on the bench. We could have brought Cody Baker on because Cody's a good kid. But I want us to attack more, and I want us to be on the front foot. And moving Christian back allows us, because Christian's, an attacking right back at times. And Paul did exactly what was needed in the game. His movement in the first half to run in behind, open the game up on, many, many occasions. So kudos to the kid for being ready, and kudos for him for being a good example in the old coach's saying, you play how you train.
Go to Jose next.
New had a pretty strong performance today. It seemed to be on the front, attacking a bit. Obviously, that's not the role that you guys have designed for him, but he tends to shine in those moments. And do you feel that this was a continuation of his performance in the African continent?
Jose, you saw his goal that he scored for Cameroon, and, he's been a very good player for the club. Is he an attacking left back? Maybe not the way we play. But certainly when he does come forward in the right moments, uses his athleticism, it can wear teams down because he's a tremendous athlete. And I just think he's riding a load of confidence from, he started a couple games for his country. He enjoys that. He was able to spend a day with his family back home. And I think that was good for him mentally and, certainly physically. I was a little concerned, but, he passed the test. He came in, he arrived in Seattle, at the facility at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon on Friday.
Right here.
Coach, how do you feel about the team not letting Minnesota back into the game and not having a repeat of some previous games where they've gone up and then let the teams come back? And do you think there was any specific change that you made or that the players made that sort of allowed them to keep the gas going and put team away?
Well, they were the ones that did it. I said it a little earlier, their ability to close out the game with good possession was, I think, the key to the game. Steph has 109 clean sheets. He's 3 away for being number 2 all time. So he's always been a good professional. He was super motivated tonight because of what happened in the previous game. So starts with him, team wanted to prove something. They wanted to start the second half of the year with a win at home. There were a lot of reasons for that.
All right, we'll swing over to the other side of the room. Jess, I see you coming your way.
A couple questions for you. Can you talk a little bit about Jordan's performance and how he impacted the game tonight?
Goal was great. Well done. Good cross, good service, great goal. And then, stretching. The decision not to play Raul was an interesting one because against 3 big center backs, I thought Jordan was just the right fit. And, it turned out to be okay.
And then second question, you briefly mentioned this in the opening statement, but what did it mean to you to be able to secure a victory during the 50th anniversary match and in front of the
It was important.
Yeah.
I mean, the fans had the big tifo. I enjoyed the tifo as well. I got to give our guys credit. But yeah, I mean, it was a great way, and I hope that all the guys that started here at 4:30 in the hospitality tent that were drinking water, Coke, Pepsi, soda, whatever, I hope they enjoyed the ending of the game as well.
More specifically, just in front of the 1974 inaugural team, the people that kind of set the standard of excellence for the club.
Lot of history.
Yeah.
A lot of history, Jess. It was a perfect ending for a perfect night.
Okay, we'll go to Paolo over here.
Coach, about Leo Chu, he started the game today, initially in the left, then on the right side, and he was subbed just after he made the assist. And it seems that your conversation was a bit longer than usual when on his way out. Can you share a bit about that conversation or
No.
the choice?
Leo Chu was very good tonight. Happy that he had a good performance. The kid is such a nice kid. I was happy for him.
We'll go to Nico and then take one off of Zoom.
Coach, congratulations on the win. I was wondering if you could talk about JP's performance tonight against Minnesota.
Good, because he scored some really tremendous goals against Minnesota, but tonight, good question. He was very good tonight. I think this was one of his better performances tonight. Controlling the game, controlling the tempo, a foul or 2, but that just shows he was being aggressive. His defensive work was good. I thought he had a great performance.
Felipe, thanks for your patience. Go ahead and bring yourself off mute and ask your question.
Thank you, Alex. Coach Brian, congratulations on the win. This enhances the 50th celebration. My question to you is, the team had a little bit of trouble closing the games. What was different in this game that the team maintained the 2-0 until the end of the game?
Good possession in the second half, in the opponent's half of the field, and a great second goal by Paul Rothrock. Because at 1-0, it becomes, a little bit dicey. But at 2-0, it's a little bit easier, Felipe. And then certainly the team was pushing for even the third goal. So I was happy that they were continuing to play like they did in the first half. I think that was a big part of it.
All right, we'll take a couple of follow-ups. Jose, I saw you.
Coach, would you be willing to share some words about Christian and his performance, not only adjusting to the position switch, but also understanding that last year he suffered an injury, a head injury that sidelined him for a while, and then seeing his brother go down, that surely can't be easy. Yes, he's a professional, but that's still his brother, and you were able to slot him back and move him back, and he delivered. And there were instances where he actually excelled beyond what we expect.
Another really good question. I thank you for that. I think it took, Jose, the whole team like 10, 15 minutes. Right after that delay, after we start the game and they're up and they're playing, and it was a little bit of a long delay, it wasn't just Christian, but I thought the whole team, because they're all close. The team is all together. And certainly, Christian's going to worry about his brother. Alex is in the concussion protocol, just to make sure that we're clear on that. But he was in the locker room. He is okay in that sense. Everybody came up to him after the game, was asking him how he was. So they're all concerned for him. And Christian had a great performance. And yeah, it probably was a little bit harder for him based on his recent concussion history.
Final follow-ups? Yeah, John?
It's a short turnaround to Wednesday with Houston, who's 2 points ahead of you. How can you build on tonight's performance to get 3 points in the next match?
Well, we're going to evaluate the film. We're going to get the guys regened. We're going to come up with a strong lineup because the gap between tonight and Wednesday is certainly better than Wednesday, Saturday. So we're going to go down to Houston to try and collect points.
Miss anybody? Thanks all. Locker room's
Thanks,
open.
everybody.
Thanks, Schmetzer.